Tazza, this is the bold predictions. We had a lot of predictions coming in last week, and most of them were shit. Most of them were absolutely terrible. Tazza, and on the run sheet in front of you there, we've got all the calls that we made last week, and it might be worth you reading through a few of them, I think.
Where are we? Yeah, look, I'm going to start with the calls from the comments. Yeah, they weren't all that great. Cats to lose to the Hawks from Captain LF. I mean, you're looking good for a half, but yeah, it would turn pear-shaped pretty quickly. So that one gets a fail. Lenza, a play to kick 9 on Saturday. Higgins had 5, so you're halfway there, but I mean...
That's not good enough.
No,
that's not good enough, Lens. You need a big one from you.
You're barely halfway, so sorry. It was a bold call, but absolutely nowhere near it. Yeah, I'm going to say Taj. Cameron and Hawkins kicked 9. Cats still lose. I mean, Cameron almost kicked 9 himself.
They kicked 10 combined.
Yeah, exactly. But the Cats, they won. So I'm not sure who you thought was going to kick goals for the Hawks, because they don't really have much of a forward line, but yeah, apart from Luke Bruce. But yeah, look, that's another fail.
This is a good shout. This is a good shout here.
This is very close. It's obviously we can't give it because it's just you're just a little short, but this might be as good as we've had
all
from
year,
memory.
I'd say.
Yeah, this is the best call of the year so far. Cameron and Hawkins 12+, and the Cats win by 60+.
Sports nut. That's great areas, but it's not there.
Yeah, I mean, Cameron obviously holding up his end of the bargain there, but Hawkins hasn't been great so far. Chipped in, but just didn't quite get it done.
This is just missing the outside edge and needing Snicko to not get us over the line. That's tough.
It is tough. What do we got? Alex K. Yeah, I'm not even going to pronounce the last name. Collingwood versus Brisbane, 250 points combined. I don't think we even got close to that.
No.
No player to kick more than 3.
But Charlie had 6, so...
There you go. He doubled that, so that's unfortunate, but no. Sean Davies, the only man to have got one right, as far as I can remember. Josh Dacos and Elliott both for 3+ goals. Didn't quite get it done.
No.
And last but not least, top fix.
Well,
Gold Coast to beat the Saints.
It was least. It was a lemon herb call, and it was... I mean, top fix. We love the feedback, but you've got to be better than that. You need to be giving us a bit more substance than that, I think. So that's okay. There's always next week. He can live.
Just got to learn from it. It's onwards and upwards from here. Top fix. We just need a little bit more. I mean, even if you got it right, it's not really a bold call. So we just need a little bit more.
Yeah, no.
A little bit. We probably need a fair bit more.
We do need a lot more. My call last week was no good. I tried to ham it up to try and get the clicks. It was nowhere near it.
You picked the wrong player.
I know. I mean Ben King. I think for 8 he kicked 1 and he had no marks.
If you'd had Noah Anderson, you might have been close too.
Yeah.
With the disposals, he had a game and a half. He was unreal.
Yeah. Noah was putting the team on his back, but couldn't get it done. BT was no good. He had 15 goals and 20 marks for Lynch and the Nort. None of them had double digits. And Tazza had the Saints by 50+, but Bytel was the sub, so he wasn't getting it done.
Yeah.
And Rowan Marshall got nowhere near it in the marks department either. But not bad with the Saints by a big margin. So
yeah, I'll take that. But yeah, like I said, it's just not close. We got to do better.
All right, well, I'll let you open the bowling, but we do have one quick one from Lenzer in the comments. He says he's getting it right this week. He says Jordan Dawson got 173 Supercoach points against Freo, and he's backing it up with another 180 this week. Big numbers. We're not Supercoach guys, so we don't know the exact correlation from fantasy to Supercoach, but 180 is still a huge score, and against Carlton. So Carlton's no pushovers. So that's a decent call. I'd like Lenzer to tell us if he thinks that the Crows are getting the win, because I think that would make it bold for me.
Yeah. Yeah. I can tell you, I've got Dawson in my fantasy team, and I think he was on 124 from memory. So, yeah, I've been long awaiting a decent score from him this season and finally got it. So, I'm up and about on that.
Yeah.
Off the long run up, I will come in and I will go straight to the Adelaide game as well.
Very good.
My bold prediction. So, I love preempting a in for teams. I just love it. I don't know why I do it, but I do. And it ruins my bold predictions straight off the bat. But Darcy Fogarty's coming back into this team.
Okay.
I think he's good to go.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have Fogarty and Rankin. They're gonna combine for 12 goals.
Oh.
Dawson. He's gonna have Laird bounce back game. He's gonna have 35 through the midfield.
Okay.
And Adelaide win.
So it's a triple dip. So
It's a triple dip.
What was that? That was Rankin Fogarty for 12, which is huge in itself. Laird
I was going to go 10, but I went even bigger.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the boldness there. Laird for 35 just adds a little bit of spice, but nothing too substantial. And the Adelaide win just taken over the top. For me, Tazza, this is ridiculous. I'm happy to give it. I'd love some feedback in the comments to validate it. I know BT's sniffing around. He'll probably poo-poo it. BT says bold. BT says bold straight away.
Thanks, BT. I'll take a bold from you.
You'll take a bold. I think if we get any other feedback as well, I'm happy to pay out on that. But it is a good call. It is a very good call and hitting all the right areas.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it. That was done on the fly too. That was I did not have that pre-recording, or pre-going live. So that was done in about 1 minute.
I couldn't half tell. James Timberlake saying ridiculous. Lenza saying in between bold and ridiculous.
Yeah.
Look, for me, I'm calling it ridiculous. I'm going in. There it is. Ridiculous.
I was aiming for ridiculous areas. So look, it's around the mark. I think the consensus is somewhere around there. But yeah, ridiculous is good. I'll take that.
Ridiculous is on the board. Dale Goodman jumping in the comments. Hi to you, mate. Thanks for jumping on the stream. We are doing bold predictions right now. If you have any bold predictions and you're in the chat, give us a comment. Let us know your bold predictions coming up for round 5 of the AFL season. BT, our regular co-host, in the chat right now, his bold prediction for the week. Nick Dacos and Jordan Goey to combine for less than 40 disposals and 1 goal. Collingwood to still win against the Saints. I like this call. I think this is definitely bold and probably borderline ridiculous.
And to still win. Yeah, absolutely.
Can we put a caveat of no injuries on this as well? Because I don't want to see this get up just through an injury to one of those two blokes.
It's got to be through both players making the end of the game. 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean.
Dacos is the barometer. Everything runs through Dacos in that team. So for Collingwood not to win without Dacos doing well, is big.
Yeah, I don't want to say it's
bold.
It is bold. I mean,
it's not ridiculous. It's not out of the realms of possibility.
Yeah, I'd love some people jumping in on the chat. I mean, Lenza says it's ridiculous. I think if we get another pro BT ridiculous call, I'd be happy to pay out on it. But for me at the moment, it's just bold.
Yeah, I find it's... I mean, we've seen, obviously, De Goey's different this year. I think he stepped it up a level, but we have seen games where De Goey is just a non-existent... He's a non-factor. So... But for Collingwood to win as well. Generally, if he's a non-factor, they're losing, but... Yeah, it's a bold. It's a bold. Okay. No one else of validation. Dale Goodman jumping in the chat, and he says Mitch Owens rising star this week. It's a good call. It's a fair call if you've got some stats to go with it. Because at the moment, I'm not going to say it's definitely not lemon her, but it's definitely not in bold areas just yet. So give us some stat. Oh, here he goes. He's lifted straight away. Philippou 5 goals, 20 touches. Saints and Collingwood will have a draw is my prediction.
To go with the Mitch Owens Rising Star, we're straight into ridiculous. He's just followed it straight up. I love this call. That is great stuff there from Dale Goodman.
Philippou 5 goals. Yeah, that in itself is bold. And anything else is sprinkles on the top,
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah. That's ridiculous areas, mate, and I like it. Cobloaf Records jumping in. Gold Coast win by 9 points, only scoring 9 goals with 9 different goal scorers. It will be dire. I'm not sure what's going on there. If you're calling it 9 points on the nose, it's a Steve level call. If it's just 9 plus, then it's ridiculous for me.
Yeah, if you're picking a margin down to the point, it's Steve automatically, and you nine single goal scorers. That's Steve.
That is
every day of the week.
That is obscure, and I'm going to put it into Steve right now. It's on the board. I think that's our first Steve of the year. That's very good work from Cobloaf. There's a couple more in the comments, but I'm going to go with mine first because I had a poor showing, Tazza. I sort of strayed away from where I know, which is sort of the realms of getting it sort of correct. And I've sort of gone back to my roots a bit here, because if you watched this channel last year, you'd know that I like to go with sort of grounds. And this is not a grounds. This is not a grounds pick, but this is to do with the ground. So as you know, it's gather round. It's gather round this weekend. All the teams are going to South Australia, and they're all playing in South Australia this weekend. And we'll talk about that a little bit later on in the show. Gold Coast Fremantle is where I'm turning my attention to. The lowest attendance at a game since the year 2000 that wasn't a COVID-affected attendance was Gold Coast and North Melbourne. It was played in Cairns in 2018, had 3,722 people in attendance. This game, Gold Coast and Freo, is being played at 3 o'clock on a Friday afternoon in Norwood, so in regional areas. This game, first part of my bold prediction, this game will shatter the record and will have less than half that number. So I'm having less than half. So I'm going less than 1,861 people to be in attendance at an AFL game. That's part one of the prediction. Part two, it will also be the lowest combined score for a non-COVID affected game since the year 2000 as well. And I'm not exactly sure I've got that stat right, but the best I got was North Melbourne and Geelong in 2019. It was an absolute spectacle where it was 14 versus 69. So there was a total of 83 points scored for the match. So I think that's the lowest. That's the lowest I've got. So I'm saying that the Gold Coast Freo game it will shatter the record for the lowest attendance. So less than 1,800 people will go to watch this game, and there'll be less than 83 points scored between the two teams. That's where I've landed with my bold prediction, Tazza.
Just to get the less that's ever been recorded, I think that's it's bold. I'm straight with bold, and then it's got to be ridiculous. I think there's a lot of you've got basically two. There's a
lot happening there.
Two lowest ever stats. You're going for the most dire of dire games.
Yeah, this is going to be an absolute shit show. Don't go back and watch this on the KO after the fact. Yeah, so less than 83 points combined, and 1,861 people or less to be in attendance. Lenza says Steve. I'm not even going to pay that for myself. I don't think it's Steve.
It's 3 p.m. at Norwood. I mean, one, most people are still at work, and two, it's Norwood. Like, yeah. I don't know its proximity to the city. I should, because I've been to Adelaide a couple of times, and I'm going in a couple of weeks. But I don't know its proximity. But it's still it's a working hour. So, and two teams that really don't
have no business being in South Australia
in Adelaide. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's bold, but it's not Steve.
Yeah, okay. I'll settle on bold there, and I don't have a problem with that. I think that's a pretty good area for it if I can get my stream working. Bold.
I should have known where you were going. Because you do love those ground ones.
I love a good ground, and when I see it obscure ground, I'm
You're
on it.
fixated.
I'm on it like a hawk. Well, there you go. There's our bold predictions. We had one more in the comment from Taj. He says Gold Coast to win by 2 goals. Brayshaw to get 30 plus touches. Amos to kick 4 goals, and also 16 free kicks against Fremantle by half time. There's a lot going on there. There's a lot to unpack with that prediction. Brayshaw 30 plus. That's a gimme, I think.
It's fairly regulation though.
Gold Coast by 2 goals is not outlandish. Amos to kick 4, I think, is decent, and 16 frees against by half time is a bit wild. So I think adding it all up, it's definitely bold.
It's definitely bold.
Definitely bold.
I wouldn't say it's ridiculous.
Neither. I'd
Amos
say bold.
for 4 goals. Yeah, it's bold.
Yeah, I think bold is who will land on that.
Gets a tick.
Yeah, and Dale Goodman just jumping on with the second call, and we like this. Western Bulldogs to win by 100 points. Ken Hinkley to get sacked. There we go.
Hey. Just let me enjoy my week for a little bit, will ya? No, honestly, I would not be surprised to see Port lose. It'll be all sunshine and rainbows for a week, and then it's back to Ken getting the sack. Yeah,
there you go. It's tough as a Port Adelaide supporter. The highs and the lows, as we said a bit earlier in the stream. So there you go. That is the bold predictions. If you have any bold predictions and you're watching this video on YouTube, in the comments section below, let us know, and we will give you a roasting next week if it's a shit call. We love doing that.